Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Shots fired at marriage, Konstantin's final warning, Theresa fears exposure. Days of Our Lives reveal that Konstantin Meliuni's rearmost concession will leave everyone reeling. Konstantin just admitted he was the bone who sabotaged Viktor Kiriaki's airplane and caused his old rival's grim fate. It's Konstantin's fault that Maggie Kiriakis lost the man she loved, so she no mistrustfulness unleash her wrath on Monday's day's occasion. Now that Maggie's heard Konstantin's disturbing updates, she really let Konstantin have it. Of course, Konstantin wouldn't watch about Maggie's passions, or anyone differently for that matter. It's clear that Konstantin only looks out for number one. The embezzlement scheme is in stir, so the plan is for the bobbies to come and arrest Konstantin soon. Konstantin could also go down for the airplane sabotage, Victoria Horton Cook's hijacking, and indeed the attempt on Maggie's life since John Black recorded his order for the pawn. Still, they say effects are about to take another terrible turn. DOL suckers can anticipate the marriage drama to toast up indeed more when notoriety takes a pellet. John presently has his gun refocused at Konstantin to make sure he doesn't try to pull anything, but Konstantin might dive for the armament anyway. It sounds like there'll be a struggle over it, but who'll get shot? It could be Konstantin himself, but there was a befor-the-scenes videotape many months ago that showed Stephen Nichols wearing a blood-stained dress shirt. It may be Steve who ends up getting wounded and rushed to the sanitarium. Still, Konstantin may get hauled off and bind in the fate, if that's the case. Day spoilers say Konstantin will deliver a vague warning before he departs, so he may allude that his abettor is still in play. Konstantin may make a vaticination about the Kiriakis clan continuing to get duped, so Alex Kiriaki, Xander Cook, and Brady Black will pound over what he means. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Theresa Donovan will inwardly freak out as she struggles to help her own exposure. Konstantin is a dead man walking. Plus, can we trust Clyde? The end of Konstantin. Okay, let's just jump right into the one thing I allowed. I do want to avoid like the pest this week, Konstantin. Ever since the handover last Friday, I've been allowing, wow, this show is a nice change of pace. And also, Konstantin showed up and everything I'd been abhorring all came submerging back. Sitting casually on the Kiriaki settee, Konstantin smirks while raising a brandy snifter, and that embezzlement setup made indeed less sense when Konstantin banged the marriage up. It takes time to steal plutocrat. Konstantin wouldn't just clear out the account she gave him in a many hours, also show up to the marriage with a smile on his face. And why would he indeed need to marry her if he got all that plutocrat? That's what I was allowing, but also at the marriage Justin got the alert that the trust account had been gutted out. It would be stupid for Konstantin to move that presto, and I got the distinct print Maggie and Co. Were the bones? Who swiped it? Which was that always the plan? Whatever, because I actually enjoyed the marriage and seeing Konstantin bluster and blow in his demotion. In marriage vesture, Maggie, Xander, Brady and Justin glower at Konstantin in the Kiriakis' living room. Plus, I laughed out loud at Theresa's "what the EFF is going on" look on her face as Konstantin tried cranking the pawn, and Bonnie's maximum confusion as they chilled Konstantin's falsehoods. Oh, and Alex's cheerful grin as Maggie told Konstantin he's going to captivity actually made me not detest him. Was it worth it? In the end, I suppose this plot may nearly be rescued. I am going to go out on a branch and say none of us were awaiting Konstantin to spear at everyone that he sabotaged Victor's airplane and killed him. That makes all these once months so important creepier and darker, as he also feed on Victor's widow and planned to kill Maggie as well. That's why he'd have gone through with the marriage, indeed if he formerly stole up most of her plutocrat. In marriage vesture, Konstantin leans forward glooming at Maggie. Peering, she holds a trayness for Maggie, as I get into then, this could have far-reaching consequences and really shake her. At this point, Konstantin is, as I say in the caption, a dead man walking. Spoilers for coming week have someone getting shot and the Kiriakis man being left with cryptic words from Konstantin on his deathbed? Will a conflict go off for John's gun, leaving him dead? Will Theresa step in and accidentally kill him? Will Xander eventually let loose his rage on the man? There's no way they can let him live, but he may cock Commodity off that LL lead them to realizing the verity about Xander and Alex. Also again, Xander's mama could do that. The alternate, she shows up now that Bonnie and Sarah eventually called her. In any case, yes, we got 6 months of Konstantin driving us all crazy, and I don't know if anything can make up for that, but this was a veritably welcome surprise. That's how you do a Friday thriller. Hot and cold away in the Kyriakis family drama, we got a first look at a story that was dropped flat by the returning Pens Alex and Kristen. That pivot felt like they took one look at the pairing and were like, oh, hell no. Standing elevation from Alex, Kristen rests her indicator cutlet under his nethermost lip, but I appreciated how Alex refocused out to Kristen how numerous times Theresa slipped up. It's been a lot over the once many months, and sounded over-eager about effects like the plutocrat and covered with little falsehoods. Ignoring those has been as blatant as Maggie ignoring all of Konstantin's red flags. I am getting whiplash, however, as the returning Pens set that quad straight. Kristen dropped Alex out of nowhere, Theresa slept with Brady, also ditched him within occurrences, to get back with Alex. I kind of felt bad for the poor Joe, but we all know how Brady is when it comes to making smart romantic choices. Death, lies and Abigail. I was really awaiting the pen switch to wrap up Clyde presto since he's been dragged out so long, but rather, they enough much guaranteed we'll be seeing him more regularly again for a little while. And all he'd to do is say, Abigail's still alive. Glowering at a shackled Clyde, Chad hands Harris a gun. In the forest land the addict propositions have been running rampant about Abigail. That she's alive and about to come back. That Clyde's got a look-alike he's been staying to break out. Perhaps there's a clone out there that Clyde's had locked and Rolf's had the real bone. On ice. Or this is all just a way for Clyde to save his own skin and buy some time. There's no Abigail and in the end, the show will eventually let Chad move on. Clyde's disclosure was exactly a shock, especially since the daily teaser videotape included it, and say what you'll about rejuvenation on this show, but it's got people talking and that's nearly always a good thing. Plus, Abigail was a cherished character that I suppose most suckers are okay with bringing back. But one way or another, hopefully this will put an end to all the teasing. Or perhaps I just read too important into every Abigail citation and discussion because I am paranoid. The fall of House DeMera and Jude. We can't forget about that. From all I can tell, Sloane is really, truly gone and not coming back. And while I liked her as a character, more so when she was hopeless for a baby and to keep Eric, I am okay with that for the story, because the fallout isn't going to be about her. It's just a matter of how EJ is going to be undone. Melinda's a force to be reckoned with. Formerly again, Rafe caved way too fluently with Commodity he should have arrested her for, but I really enjoyed her cool command of the situation, and EJ would be wise not to tick her off. Or perhaps Leo will eventually put 2 and 2 together about why EJ wanted him quiet. Also there's the DNA results sitting in the DeMera safe. I am enough sure those are still the real bones. Sloane squinched up in switching. And Eric just doesn't trust EJ, ever. He could start digging into how Sloane really got down and come up with Commodity. In the end, EJ's living on espoused time, and the longer this goes on, the worse it'll be for him when he loses Nicole and Jude. Some final words. It's Emmy night, so rather of snarky slapdash studies, I wanted to leave you with Commodity uplifting. Because when I spoke with many of the Days of Our Lives folks about the Emmys, it was clear how important everyone truly watched for each other. At the Salem Inn, Gwen smiles as she holds out her left hand. Ava holds it, lowering.